Hey everybody, Brett Watkins, LPT Realty. Today, you say you're ready to buy a house in Florida. Let's do this. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide, go over some of the processes that are involved in buying a home. Stick around, we'll get right to it. Okay, so what's first? I'm in Florida. I'm thinking I want to buy a house. What do I want to do? Where do I want to start? Well, you got two choices. You either start by picking out a lender, or you go and get an agent, and that agent can possibly recommend a lender to you. Give you several choices that would be good for you. I have several lenders that I work with. It really doesn't matter to me who you work with. If you've got, a bank or something that you're loyal to, I understand. I will say a few things on the matter, though. Banks typically and credit unions may get you a little bit better rate. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. But what you run into with the big banks, your Bank of Americas and Wells Fargo and, the credit unions, those places work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The people that work there are paid a salary. They get 50 applications for mortgages on their desk, and it sits on Susie's desk, and she gets to it when she can. And then it goes to the next person, and then it goes to the next person, and they do their job. And your mortgage application and you buying a house is not a priority in that person's life. Where's the difference come in? If you use a mortgage broker who can shop you around to several different lenders, your mortgage application is their only job and their only priority. If you don't buy a house, they don't get paid, period. So, makes the priorities a little different. The lenders that I specifically work with, the loan officers, they're crazy people just like me. They work nights, weekends. They do whatever it takes to get it done. And that's the difference that you're going to have between banks and mortgage lenders as far as getting your loan and your pre-approved, because that is something you must have for us to put in an offer. So what goes into all of that? Well, you're going to fill out an application, a credit application. The loan officer is going to go through it all. And when he pulls your credit and he takes a look at all that, he's going to make an initial determination. Yes, from everything I see here, it looks like you're qualified for X amount of dollars, $400,000. And he'll give us a pre-approval letter. Does that mean, okay, it's a done deal? No, absolutely not. They put a lot of things in the mix after the crash in 2007 through 2009. There's a lot of protocol involved in qualifying somebody. So during the process, so let's say we go out, we find you a house, and we get under contract, and we give them our pre-approval letter. Now the work really begins. Now they're going to be asking you for your taxes for the last 2 years, for your pay stubs. If you own a business, they're going to want to know all about that. If you're married, that's important. They're going to start digging into your finances and into your life to make sure you're qualified to buy this place. They're going to pull your credit more than once during the process from start to finish. They do that for a reason. I can tell you they're going to pull it one more time before closing just to make sure you didn't do anything crazy or stupid. You didn't go out and buy a Ferrari. You didn't go out. I had a client go out and buy a boat, bought a bass boat. Not good. Almost blew the deal. Almost throws his debt to income ratio out. What a lot of people will do is think that they can sneak out to Rooms to Go and charge about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of Rooms to Go furniture. No. No, you can't. Once the deal's closed, you got the keys in your hand, party on. Go do what you want. But in the beginning, in the meantime, you're not going to do anything other than live your life and wait for this to close. So that's going to kind of be the first thing in this process that we're going to get done. We're going to get you pre-approved. Hopefully, by this time, you've already picked out your real estate agent. If you haven't, if you've gotten a pre-approval, you already had a lender in mind, you went through all of that. Now you need to look at a real estate agent. What am I looking for? Who am I looking for? Well, you're going to, it's like anything else. You're going to want to read the reviews. I highly recommend that. Check out their Google reviews. Check out their Zillow reviews. See what other people think of them. There's all kind of reviews out there, and if you go strictly by that, we would probably never buy or do business with anybody on the planet because there's always somebody that doesn't like it. So if they've got a bunch of good reviews and one bad apple, you take that for what it's worth. What else? You're going to check their reviews. You want to make sure they've been around the block a time or two. You're going to interview these people. You're going to call them up, send them an email, whatever it is. Meet with them and find out. Hey, do you know your stuff? Do you know the turf? In a later video, I'll give you some questions to ask that'll make it easy for you. Do you know this? Do you do this? Do you do that? Boom, you'll have it in front of you. So you're gonna get a lender. You're gonna get a real estate agent. Both of those things you're gonna have to have. A good buyer's agent is gonna do all the negotiating for you. They're gonna help recommend people to you during the process. Inspectors, possibly a loan officer, title companies that are involved. Your agent may or may not know them. It's always good to have somebody knowledgeable in the area that you're looking. House hunting. Well, that's going to be next. We've got a pre-approval. We've got an agent. Now we're out looking at houses. What am I looking for? Well, your agent should go through all of this with you. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Do you want a single-family home? Do you want a townhouse? Do you want a condo? Do you want something on the beach? Do you want something inland? Do you want to pay flood insurance if you're on the water? Things like that. Those are all things that you need to go through. Do you have dogs? You have pets? Do you need a fence? Do you want a pool? On and on and on. Just a lot of things that you don't necessarily think of right off the bat. Your agent should go through all of this with you before, if possible, before you go start looking. It'll save you time and aggravation. Let's say we find a house. Now what? Okay, time to make an offer on a house. How do we go about that? Again, this is what you're going to rely a lot on your agent for. He or she is going to do a market analysis of everything that's sold in the neighborhood that's a similar property to yours. They're gonna break down the numbers for you, tell you what everything else is sold for with approximately the same square footage. How long has it been on the market? How long did it take to sell? What are the circumstances? Go through all of that with you and be able to come up with a fair price to offer these folks for their house. Here's the good news. We can offer something less than what they're asking. Yes, negotiations have returned to real estate. It's almost, not quite, but we're getting near and almost an even playing field between buyers and sellers. Now, that may change. Interest rates have come down a little bit. We're now, July 22nd, we're at about 6.75% for a 30-year conventional loan. Now that's, of course, if you have, great credit. Your VA and your FHA loans have something with a 5 in the front. I just had one quoted today for 5.75 for a VA loan. Those are some numbers we haven't seen in a while. If it stays that way or comes down a little more, we're going to see buyers getting off the sidelines. This is kind of what they've been waiting for. There's a lot of people, no matter how much you tell them, hey, we can negotiate now. Let's do it. They want to wait. They want to see the interest rates come lower. If they do creep down, we're going to see more buyers. What does that mean? Prices are going to start to creep up. It's not going to happen overnight. It'll take a month, 2 months, 3 months. But when there's more buyers, there's less inventory, the price goes up. So keep all of that in mind. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's a good thing for now. It's a good thing. Interest rates have come down. More buyers. Sellers are willing to list. Will get a fair price for their property. I've been checking out some of the statistics here, and just to go over some of these things with you, I went over some of this with you last year. Nothing's really changed as far as the statistics go. With how much does a house cost? What can I get? The median price here, and this is statistics that I just pulled for 2024. The majority of the homes that are selling are in the price range of $300,000 to $600,000, with the real majority of those coming between $350,000 and $500,000. $350,000 to $500,000. What does that get? That should get me a 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom, 2-bath house in a pretty decent area of Tampa Bay. If I list my house and I put a price on it, and I'm assuming that it's priced correctly, how much would I expect to get for it? So if I price my house at $400,000, you've had an agent do it, and it's worth every bit of $400,000. Will I get that? The answer is pretty much yes. The average list to sell price is still at like 99 and 98%. Meaning, if I listed $400,000, I can expect to get 99% of that, or 98%. That's where the statistics are falling. That's a good thing. Now, there's other concessions and other things to be taken into account. A lot of folks are helping buyers out with closing costs and rate buy-downs. Doesn't really get reflected in the price, but it's reflected in the bottom line to the seller. How long does it take to sell a house? How long does it take for all this to happen? Usually it's still hanging around 60 days. About 2 months. From the day I put a sign in the yard, I can expect, again, this a lot of variables in this. But I could expect to have an offer and hopefully have my place under contract in about 2 months. That's what the statistics show us. Now, if there's other circumstances, of course, it can be longer. If it's the greatest house ever seen, it can fly off the market in a week. But the averages and the numbers are about 60 days at this point. Couple other things. How much inventory is out there? Inventory is actually up as of June 30th. We have 3.5 months of inventory. Meaning if nobody else listed their house as of today, it would take about 3.5 months to sell everything that we had. And that's good news because, back when things were crazy, we had, sometimes a month, sometimes less than a month. So inventory's been hanging around 3 months here for, about the last 6 months. That's a good thing. So anyway, to recap all of this, what are we going to do when we're ready to buy a house? First thing we're going to do is we're going to find us a good agent. A good agent will help you find a great loan officer, a good lender. If you've already got a lender picked out, great, not a problem. But the first two things, loan officer or lender of some sort, and a real estate agent. Next, we're going to go and we're going to go house hunting. We're going to make an offer. Then we're going to close the deal. Well, what's up with closing the deal? What do I have to do there? At that point, everything should be done. You're going to show up with a couple forms of ID, and you're going to take your vitamins because your hand's going to cramp up from signing papers. So you're going to do all that on the last day, and they're going to hand you the keys. Easy peasy in most cases. Takes about an hour and a half usually to close at the title. So there you have it. Shoot me an email, send me a text, give me a like, give me a comment in the bottom. We'll see you guys on the next one.